Welcome to Civ 5 Civilization Spotlight, featuring Norway, the Coastal Crusaders. This mod was recommended for me to try out, and I absolutely love it. It's a very subtle change to the game, but this civilization could change the entire game if you let them get too strong. But that's the same for every civilization. Now, for any of you that are subscribed or have seen my last videos, Spain or the Pirate King, you would know that my computer isn't the best. Its specs are pretty good, and I'll put them on screen, but I was wondering why my computer was so slow. I got a message from someone who watched the video and suggested that I download a power booster or a clean wipe software. So this worked out really well, and actually, like, noticeably, the computer is performing much better, so thank you for that. I was able to record all this footage in 1080p with hardly any drops below 25 frames-ish, which is pretty good for 1080. I might move it to 720 so I can get a few more frames, but long story short, it's watchable now. So thank you for your patience for waiting for this video, and I should be able to get back to my other series too. Again, just in case, you might be deaf, so I'll put up on like a big fat mod on the screen. This is a mod, okay? Maybe I should do a different category, but apparently the Pirate King was misleading to a few people on Reddit, and I should have wrote mod in it, so I'll write mod in it this time. This is a mod. In my last video on Spain, I may have gotten a few details wrong, like the Spanish being very accepting of religion, when the Spanish Inquisition was literally one of the most terrible events to happen to the Jewish population. I've got my facts straight this time, I swear. Welcome to Civ 5 Civilization Spotlight, featuring Norway, the Coastal Crusaders. Norway is led by its fearless king, Håkon IV. Before any of you jump at my throat, I did as much research as possible to see if I could get this guy's name right. The websites were shit. What is this? Nope, that's the modern pronunciation. Nope, that's Old Norse. What? Just give it to me straight, man. How do you say it? So, I verified with the person who had requested it to make sure I was pronouncing it right. I hope. It's pronounced hawk, as in a bird, on. Turn your hawk on. Actually, that was a bad sentence to put that in. By popular opinion, Norway's most courageous king, Håkon IV, reigned for 46 years. King Håkon tried to save Norway from its previous civil war in the 1100s. Not only was he successful, but he brought Norway to a golden age like it's never seen before. Håkon's rule was so illustrious that he would be offered the imperial crown by the Pope. Now, I'm reading this off a website. I'm not going to do the Matthew Santoro, okay? I'm going to give credit to what I'm reading off of. I did actually some research behind the scenes here. Believe it or not, Håkon IV was actually considered an illegitimate son by the church, so he was offered the crown more than once, but he was not baptized at birth, and he was born in a hostel. If you're European, you know what a hostel is, but it's like a hotel, but like a little more crowded. Now, as far as I've read, his mother had to try and prove to the council that he was of the king's blood so he could receive the crown, because the king just died in a battle. Not to mention he was born in the Civil War, and himself as a baby was a high priority target for the enemy called the Bagler. Okay, sorry for the long introduction, but I don't understand, with a history this intricate, why is Håkon IV not an actual civ by default? Special trait, the northward route. This actually has historical importance, about how during Håkon's reign, he connected the people in a way that had never been done before in Norway. I'm sure I've already bored you with all the details, but source information can be found in the description of the video. Begin with visibility of nearby coastal tiles, and receive double quantity from ocean resources. Sources with fish yield +1 gold. So in the footage in the background, I should mention I played 2 games. One game I played for 90 turns. When is that? Maybe an hour and a half. I was playing on the Boreal map. Because of the tundra surrounding, which I'll explain later, I thought I could get a good advantage. But I absolutely got shit on by barbarians. So I started a new world. And with this trait of seeing nearby coastal tiles, I found the Great Barrier Reef almost instantly. And with double the yield, that would be a hefty income. Special units. Number 1. This is where the tundra part comes in. I want to say this right. I think it's Björkibaner. Or Björkibaner. Listen, I tried to figure it out. I think it's Björkibaner. I'm just gonna call it the melee unit, okay? I verified with the guy as well. I'm pretty sure he's Norwegian. this melee unit is the Norwegian version of the swordsman. Double movement in snow, tundra, and hills, plus 20% combat strength in hills, same melee strength of the warrior, 14. It requires 1 iron as well to build. This unit was amazing. Useful in certain scenarios, but even more useful in snow, hills, or tundra. Special unit number 2. Stave Church. Stores food whenever a new citizen is born, equal to the city's faith output. Does not require a shrine to be built. What it fails to mention is that it has a maintenance cost of 2 gold per turn. I did actually build 2 of these in both of my actual cities because I was playing a religious game, but you may as well get an aqueduct. The civilization actually has a bias on faith in a coastal start, so make sure to keep that in mind if you decide to play it. But this unit actually has historical importance in Haakon's history. I'm just going to give a brief summary, but the Stave Church was used during the Civil Wars as a refuge or sanctuary for the Norwegians. You can go ahead and look on the site, but I don't think that it's worth it to build in game unless you have over 60 faith per turn. Even then, it only takes 15% at maximum. So that's it. Plain and simple, beautiful mod, Norway. I don't know why it's not in the game of Civilization 5. Civilization 6 might be pushing it a little bit, but the excellency of how this mod is put together, and it's just so simple, it feels like it should be in the game. So let's get to the ratings. Looks. 9 out of 10. I love the colors. I love the melee units with the unique axe. I'm not saying it. I'm not gonna say it. Bjerke Baner. I don't know how to say it. I loved its unique axe look versus the swordsman default model. The only thing I would change is the color and font of the cities. I know I said I like the color, and I know the color has to stick to a theme through the whole civilization. Makes sense. Being like that in the code, you can't do that. But the type. The yellow on blue, when you play for 3 hours, it's so hard to read the names. I'm playing in a dark room, right? And that sounds like a fucking loser, but it actually hurt. I couldn't read the names. Maybe it's because I'm not wearing my glasses, but I don't think it should be doing that. Representation, 8 out of 10. I loved everything about this and how all the units are linked to history, as it should be for every single civilization, but I didn't make up the phrase the coastal crusader. It's literally what it says. It's literally the slogan of Haakon IV's reign in Wikipedia. It's the slogan. And through all the history I read, a lot of his domination takes place on or overseas. He actually died in Scotland. Maybe instead of the Stave Church, it should be replaced with a new kind of boat. I would suggest something with a lot of health, moderate amount of damage, not a lot, but it travels a lot of distance. If you have an idea that you think's better than mine, leave a comment if you think something should replace Stave Church. If you think something should replace the melee unit too, if you have any suggestions that might be able to improve this mod, I'm really interested to hear them. Please leave them in the description or comments. Actually, best comment I see that reworks a new unit, I'll put it in the next video. I'll put it at the very beginning. I'll just pop it in there. Personal enjoyment. You know what I'm gonna say. I loved it. Amazing. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10? Oh, why is it 9 out of 10? It was an excellent use of history and a unique feel to an absolute land domination civilization. Only reason it's 9 out of 10, same thing for Spain, is because I played a 10 out of 10 before. It's just a little bit under par to that. Like 9.5. Rate it 9.5. Change it. Not 9. 9.5. Nothing wrong with the mod. Nothing at all. For sure I'm going to play it again and again. Absolutely fantastic. So, that brings it up pretty close to the end. So if you're familiar with the series, you know I enjoy montage. You're about to see the footage on the second time around that I played. I'm playing on the map Antarctica Thawed, so most of it's like a foresty, plainy area, but there's a little bit of tundra, like up north, and I wanted it pretty bad. Russia decided to keep expanding towards me after asking me to stop expanding towards her. I wasn't taking her shit. You placed your capital on tundra and hill tiles. You've made a grave mistake.